Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Boring History for Sleep, where we take history so seriously that it becomes oddly relaxing. Today's topic might sound boring, but trust me, it's about one of the most powerful and terrifying forces the world has ever seen, the Mongol Empire. You may have heard of Genghis Khan, horses, and lots of battles, but how strong was the Mongol Empire, really? How big was it? What made it successful? And why did it fall? Let's relax, lie back, and drift into the wild, dusty plains of Central Asia. Let's find out just how powerful the Mongol Empire was. Chapter 1. Who were the Mongols? The Mongols were nomadic tribes from the Central Asian steppes, what is now Mongolia. They didn't live in cities or build castles. They moved with their animals, lived in tents called gers, and were expert horse riders from childhood. Their lifestyle made them tough. They could survive harsh weather, travel long distances, and shoot arrows while riding at full speed. These skills would later become key in building their empire. Chapter 2. Enter Genghis Khan now. Meet the man behind the empire, Genghis Khan, born as Temujin around 1162. His early life was rough. His father was poisoned, his family was abandoned, and he grew up in poverty. But Temujin had a vision to unite the Mongol tribes. Through brutal battles, smart alliances, and pure charisma, he did just that. In 1206, he was declared Genghis, Khan meaning universal ruler. He didn't stop at uniting Mongolia. He wanted more: lands, wealth, and glory. Chapter 3. The expansion begins. So, how powerful was the Mongol Empire? Well, let's talk about size first. At its height, the Mongol Empire was the largest contiguous land empire in history. It stretched from Korea in the east, Poland and Hungary in the west, Russia in the north, Vietnam and the Persian Gulf in the south. That's over 33 million square kilometers, about twice the size of the Roman Empire at its peak. But size isn't everything. What made the Mongols so powerful? Chapter 4. The secrets of Mongol power. Military genius. The Mongol army was fast, mobile, and disciplined. They used horses like modern tanks. A single soldier had multiple horses, so they could ride non-stop. They were masters of strategy, using feints, ambushes, and psychological warfare. Cities often surrendered in fear after hearing what happened to others. Skilled leadership. Genghis Khan and his generals promoted people based on merit, not birth. If you were good, you got promoted, no matter your family name. They also used a decimal system for organization, units of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000, making it easy to control huge armies. Intelligence and spies. The Mongols had excellent spies and messenger networks. They always knew their enemies' weaknesses before attacking. They often tricked cities into surrendering. Brutal efficiency. If a city resisted, it was destroyed. If it surrendered, it was often spared. This method scared many into giving up without a fight. It sounds cruel, and it was, but it worked. Chapter 5. Life under the Mongols. You might think the Mongol Empire was all blood and war, but surprisingly, once they conquered a region, they were fair rulers. Religious freedom. They allowed all religions: Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, even local pagan beliefs. Trade and travel. The Mongols revived the Silk Road, making it safer than ever. Goods, people, and ideas flowed from China to Europe. You could travel from Beijing to Baghdad under one rule. Even Marco Polo, the famous Venetian explorer, traveled through Mongol territory and wrote about the wealth and order he saw. Chapter 6. The successors. After Genghis Khan died in 1227, his empire was divided among his sons and grandsons. Each piece became powerful. The Yuan dynasty in China, led by Kublai Khan, the Golden Horde in Russia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia. These regions still followed Mongol ideas, but over time they became more local and less unified. Chapter 7. How did it all fall apart? No empire lasts forever. The Mongol Empire fell apart for several reasons. Size, it was too big. Managing an empire from Korea to Hungary was nearly impossible, even with fast messengers. Internal conflicts, Genghis. Khan's descendants fought each other. Civil wars weakened the empire. Local culture. In many places, the Mongols blended in. In China, for example, Kublai Khan adopted many Chinese customs. Over time, they became less Mongol, more like the people they ruled. Plague, yes, the Black. Death. The Mongols unintentionally helped spread the plague across Asia and Europe through their trade routes. Millions died, and it weakened the empire. Chapter 8. Legacy of the Mongols. So, what did the Mongols leave behind? Trade and communication. The Mongols connected east and west like never before. Trade boomed, cultures mixed, and knowledge spread. Maps and geography. Europe learned more about Asia because of Mongol contact. This helped future explorers like Columbus and Magellan. Warfare. Their military techniques influenced armies around the world. Even modern battle strategies still reflect some Mongol tactics. Language and law. They promoted written laws and supported translators and teachers. In some places, Mongol words still remain in local languages. Chapter 9. Were the Mongols heroes? Or villains? That depends on who you ask. To some, they were brutal invaders who killed millions. To others, they were great leaders who brought peace and progress. The truth is, they were both. They changed the world forever, for better and for worse. Conclusion. So how powerful was the Mongol Empire? It conquered the largest land area in history. It built a trade network from China to Europe. It shaped military tactics, communication, and culture. They didn't build cathedrals or write poetry like the Greeks or Romans, but they were a storm, fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Next time you hear boring history, remember the Mongols. They turned tents into empires, arrows into thunder, and horses into history. Sleep tight and beware of hooves in the dark.